What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Phantom Menace 3 pack with Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it could be like a Duel of the Fates 3 pack. So it looks pretty cool. So we get new figures of Qui-Gon Jinn, which looks really good. Or at least the face looks a little bit off still, but still better than the past ones at least. So it looks good with that figure, as well as Obi-Wan looks really good with the likeness there. And then we get the newer Darth Maul. So Darth Maul looks like all the others, but we get the new body style. Of course, we've specifically had it more recently with like his scout speeder he came with. So it's going to be similar to that. It just has more plastic instead of fabric on it, but still looks good and will be awesome with that newer Darth Maul design. So very cool 3-pack here. That was a GameStop exclusive. So let me get these figures open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with Qui-Gon Jinn, which looks really good here. Of course, nice update to him. Now, I didn't think the last one looked horrible, but of course, compared to this one looks so much better. And as usual with the Jedis, they have these robes on with them, but as usual with the Star Wars Black Series, those robes are way too big, so I always hate them. So go ahead and take the robe off them. We'll do that with each figure just because, like I said, I just hate they put so much fabric in them, and like the hoods don't work, so try and like get them to lay back don't work. So you'd have to probably like take these, get them on the figure, and then maybe like figure out where you want stuff and then maybe iron it down or just do something so like to get the hood to lay flat, or if you try and like even put the hood up, but there you see it like covers up way too much of their face and stuff. So always hate the robes. I want my Jedis in the robes, but they always make them way too big and bulky, so I always hate it and get annoyed, so have to take it off there. But there we get a look at Qui-Gon Jinn, which body wise and everything should be relatively the same, like, you know, same body and all that, just maybe switched up the colors a little bit. We'll see with the comparison, but the face looks really good, so they probably have done like the face printing and stuff, so it looks good. Looks like Liam Neeson there. Pretty nice design overall. Love like more like lighter colors and stuff of the beard, so he still has like, you know, the chin strap that comes down around with the little mustache on top there, and looks good overall. The eye printing's much better on this one. Like I said, the last one I didn't think looked too bad. It's just the eye printing, it looks like they messed up and like went too dark or something, so it almost makes him look like his eyes are just all blacked out, so he looks kind of creepy there. But then with his longer hair, of course, with like the ponytail up top and the longer loose hair there in the back, which looks good overall. Looks like Qui-Gon does. Then we get his Jedi outfit, so we get that lighter tan color tunic over the top, a little bit darker like shirt underneath, belt around the waist, of course slot to be able to hold his lightsaber there, the little pockets off to the side and stuff, just the belt all the way around. Then he has the darker pants on, so the more brown pants on there. They go down into the darker brown leather Jedi boots there on his feet. So look pretty good overall. Of course, pretty basic, but looks good overall as just an updated version of Qui-Gon. Now for movements, we get that little twist. Now, of course, his hair is pretty thick and doesn't allow for too much movement, so you just get a little bit of side to side. And then same with that, you don't really get a whole lot because you can't really just head down too far, so you just look down a little bit there and then up just straight on because of the hair in the back. So not a whole lot of range, unfortunately, there with his neck. But we get the shoulders up to 90, and it'll rotate all the way around as well. Get the single elbow joint there to 90, a little bit over with rotation. Get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Now, of course, it's deep set into the robe there, so kind of hard to really get the movements, but it does move at least. Then we get the ab crunch, so crunch back and forth, so they just have the robe separated out there. So crunch back and forth a little, and we'll twist all the way around there. Then we go down to the hips, we can get the robes lift up. So up to 90 there, out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back, pretty much kicking himself in the back, especially if you force it. Now you do have a little bit of issues with the robe sort of hanging down there, so you can get that out of the way and get much better, but get that far. Then we go down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth, a little stiff here, but rock back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad movements at all, you know, pretty much like our Star Wars figures. So it is the same body, so we still have, you know, like the double knee joint and everything, still have the single elbows like they give, and like I said, it's pretty much just a complete recreation of the figure we've ever had before. So it's like they use the exact same mold once again, just switched out the, like I said, some of the colors and then the face detailings. But overall, it makes it nice because, you know, it's an upgraded version of our Qui-Gon. So we can bring in that older figure. So like I said, they switched some of the colors. You can see the color difference there with the body, especially the tunic colors. And then the face designs. Like I said, I don't think this one looks horrible, especially as a more, because I hate when figures get too realistic because I want more of a cartoony look. So like I said, I kind of like this one overall more, except the eyes, like I said, are just way too dark, where if you see him at certain angles stuff, it just looks like his eyes are all black. So it looks like he's just soulless in there. But like I said, especially with this new one, it gives much more realistic look to it and everything. Like I said, more realistic to Liam Neeson and looks really good. And finally, of course, we get his lightsaber, so his green lightsaber, so really nice to have that we'll put into his hands. So there I gave Qui-Gon the lightsaber again. I never know exactly how to pose up, especially like Qui-Gon and stuff. Don't remember his pose too much, but he looks good overall. So like I said, unfortunately with this set, we're going to have characters we've already had before, so it's not going to be super exciting. They're just updated detailings and everything, but at least they look really good. So this is now a good Qui-Gon to add to the shelf. And then we also have Obi-Wan Kenobi, which looks good as well. And again, he comes with the robe, so we'll go ahead and take the robe off. Like I said, it's just way too much. They always package them up nicely, like in the box and stuff, because they, can get the robes hidden behind the figure and into the plastic packaging. So it makes it look nice, but once you take it out and you move the robes around, it kind of loosens them up and starts causing issues and everything. So again, we'll just go ahead and take the robe off and get Obi-Wan here, which looks good. Now, of course, very similar to me with Qui-Gon. I didn't think the last one looked bad at all. Now, I do think, again, they upgraded the face. Of course, like I said, to me it's not much different, but one thing I do notice is it's a lot shinier, so there's a lot more shine onto the face, but still looks good. Looks like Ian McGregor there. Looks pretty good overall. And we get the Obi-Wan, so he's the Padawan version, so he has the shorter hair, has a little ponytail in the back, and the Padawan braid off to the side here coming around just like the last figure had, so looks good. Then we get his tunic in more of the cream color, so we get the upper tunic there completely covering him up. Belt around his waist, very similar to Qui-Gon's, just different colors. And then the pants in the cream color as well, with his brown leather boots that come up to his knees. So looks good overall, very similar to Qui-Gon, just in different colors, but overall really nice for him. Movements will be the same as the last figure, so the head will twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so again, not a whole lot of range, but doesn't move horribly. Shoulders up to 90 with the butterfly joint, so he actually has the butterfly joint, and shoulder will rotate around. Then we get the single elbow joint to 90 with rotation. Get the wrist that'll twist around, and again has the hinge back and forth there, but deep and set, so don't get a whole lot of range. Get the ab crunch at the waist and twist all the way around. The hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that bends up that far to back, kicking himself in the butt. And then we get the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So yeah, pretty much the same movements again. We get the double knee joints on them, but single elbows, and everything else about works out pretty decently there. Now we can bring in the older version. So here's that. Of course, they released it just a few years ago. I want to say for the 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace. So back in 2019 probably, where they released it on the retro card back and all that. So like I said, not too much different. Like you can see there is a little bit of color difference, not much at all. It's just very minor. No, so I don't know if you'll even notice it in the camera, but in real life it's just very minor. And then the face, so they obviously darkened up his skin because he looks very pale in this version, and fixed the hair because there's easily a hairline on there where this looks all molded together. But face wise they look about the same. Like they don't really look too much different between the two. Like I said, just changing up the colors to make him less ghostly white in that version, but looks good overall for him. And he comes with his lightsaber, so the blue lightsaber this time we'll put in his hand. So there's Obi-Wan with his lightsaber as well, now ready to duel against Darth Maul. And finally, that brings us to Darth Maul. Now, Darth Maul seemed probably the most upgrade out of all three figures. Now, unfortunately, we've already had this Darth Maul, so it will be minorly different, though. But they've already upgraded it once. We got it with the speeder bike, so I will show you that comparison. But even that, there is a minor difference with this one. But looks good for Darth Maul overall. So has the nice red and black face paint with the spikes up on his head. So for the Zabrak species, looks good there. And then he has the black robe on top. Again, a whole lot of material, but thankful for him, the way it's designed. Now, I still have issues with the hood, sticking up there in the back, but the way it's designed, it seems to sit on him and wrap around him much better. But I'll still go ahead and take it off. So there, without the robes, we'll be able to see much more of his movements here. So he looks pretty good overall. Like I said, we already saw his face there. Looks good. I assume there's more printing and stuff, but with Darth Maul, it's hard to really tell. He looked fine the way he was before, but looks good once again here. We can see, the black going down his neck as well. But then he has the all black outfit, so he has the black robes or tunic over the top with the nice plastic pieces. So, we get the additional layers on top hanging down in the front here as well, with the additional plastic coming down skirt wise there to his legs, where we then have the baggier pants going down to the boots. So they redid the boots on this, or the feet design, so it's much easier to get them to stand up and everything compared to all our past Darth Mauls. We get the shirt that comes down with the baggier arms until it gets to the elbow there as well, with the black gloves on his hands, and just overall looks really nice. And like I said, the way they've upgraded this makes me so happy, because all the past Darth Mauls are so hard to get to stand with the way their feet are designed, and just makes it so much easier, and you can get better movements all around with this version. But move-wise, we get that'll twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far. So still with just on a dumbbell joint, so not a whole lot of range, unfortunately. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly joint, so nice back and forth for that. And rotate around. We get the single elbow joint that bends there over 90 with rotation in it. And then we get to the wrist. That has the new wrist, so it'll twist all the way around, of course. But then it's on like the ball joint, so you can just get it. So if you want to hinge up and down, it'll hinge. Or if you want it back and forth, it'll back and forth. So just really love this new joint. I hope they add it to more figures because it just gives you nice, good range overall and can get the hand wherever you want it. Then we go to the ab crunch, so just under all the like the puffiness here in the midsection. So it'll crunch back and forth. Of course, he gets like stuck crunching, but you just gotta walk him back and forth, and it'll crunch back and twist all the way around there as well. Then we go down to his legs. Of course, got to get all the skirting out of the way. His legs will come up to 90 and out to the side there. He can do the splits. We also get a thigh twist up here that'll twist all the way around. Then we get the single knee joint that bends back to 90 there with rotation in it. There's a little bit of like a twist at the top of the boot. It doesn't allow it to twist all the way around because of the bagginess, but there is a twist that'll twist side to side at least. And then the foot itself will rock back and forth and twist side to side. So really good combination overall there to get him to work out like that, especially compared to the past. Darth Maul stands up so much easier. And speaking of past Darth Maul, so I just went and grabbed some that we have. So we have this one, which was the original. Like I said, I have so many issues because the legs are that far apart. Like you can't get them any closer. They'll only stay that far. And then he has this boot design that's like, as you see, like kind of rounded. So I constantly have issues getting him to stand up. Now this is the one that came with the robes, which I do like this. And we would probably actually take this whole robe thing off because, you know, it's the nice like plasticky robe. But it's attached to the head. So we didn't have to take that head and put it on this. And I assume it would fit on it. But we could probably switch this whole thing out. So I don't have it fully on, but yeah, it definitely fit on there. Now, I don't know if the head will fully fit because when I popped that off, the dumbbell joint came off with that. So I can't put it on there to see if it fit this new one. But yeah, it definitely fit over on this other one. So if you want to take this old piece, because I do like it. I like the, you know, the plastic instead of the fabric. So it'd be nice to have that. I could easily put that on this figure. And like I said, with the way it's designed, it'll stand up a lot easier than that older figure. But on that older figure as well, without the robe and stuff on, that's why we see what it looks like. So you can see the upgrades they made from the older one. Still is very similar, you know, with like the elbow joints aren't that much different. Of course, go from the double knee to the single knee now, and the fixing of the feet there, so his legs can get much closer together and stand up a lot easier. So with that difference, and then of course, like I said, we've also had the version that came with the speeder bike. So here is that speeder version, with the only difference being it has fabric skirting here, so you could be able to sit it, you know, onto the speeder bike and stuff, get its legs bent up to that where the plastic, you know, would be in the way, especially sitting there. So that's why they have the fabric just on this version. So I do just have the two different versions there, going from the one for the speeder bike that has the fabric skirting compared to this one that has the plastic, which I'd prefer the plastic much more because, like I said, fabric, I always hate when the Star Wars figures because it's always too much and too crazy and can't get it to look good, where the plastic just sits there. So that's why I'd prefer it much more. And like I said, maybe try and get that plastic robe with the head onto this figure just so I can have that robed up version instead. But of course, with Darth Maul, we also got to give him his double bladed lightsaber. So his red lightsaber, it will split in two. So we have the two pieces, or can have it together as the one that we can put into his hand. So there we can have Darth Maul now ready to face off against Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon in the Duel of the Fates. Well, that's it for our Star Wars Black Series GameStop exclusive Phantom Menace 3-pack, where we got Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. So like I said, now we can recreate that Duel of the Fates ending scene from the Phantom Menace. So really nice to get this 3-pack. Like I said, not a necessary pack. Like I really wanted like the updated Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Both are fine. Of course, the last figures were fine. I didn't think they looked bad at all, so it's not like they were necessary. But love getting this new Darth Maul. Like I said, unfortunately, I already had it with the speeder version, but like this one more just because I love more of the plastic robes they have on them here compared to the fabric ones. So that in combination with the looks of our two Jedi made me want to get this 3-pack. So let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.